Yo, welcome back, guys. Hopefully, I don't look too scruffy. I didn't really shower yet after I'm at the gym, but I'm probably going to do that here in a little bit. We're here to talk NBA and NCAA, man. The round of 32 has just concluded for men's basketball, NCAA basketball. I'm not talking about the women's bracket. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but the men's tournament's literally going on. I don't know why I would watch NCAA W. Sorry. We got NBA as well. Of course, I'm not going to discriminate against the NBA. If there are good games on during March Madness, I will talk about them. So we're going to do that first and then save the best for last with the tournament. Let's get into the Pelicans and the Pistons, though, to kind of start the video off. Ron Holland has a big final quarter and scores a season-high 26 points to lead the Pistons over the Pelicans by 6. Ron Holland, the second insane fourth quarter, had one of his best games of the season, and the Pelicans were fighting, and he needed to have that game. So I think that is awesome to see the Pistons get it done there, beating C.J. McCollum and the New Orleans Pelicans. 66 bench points and a win over the Pelicans here for the Pistons, and again, that's a good quality for a team to have, bench involvement. I think it's great to see that out of them. Rim finishes for Jalen Duren getting to there. He's a great big man. Pretty good basketball here, though. Dennis Schroeder was hitting threes. C.J. McCollum obviously makes it tough for them. Makes it tough for anybody because he's such a good scorer, but they get it done. I mean, yeah, it's 40 points for C.J. McCollum, and obviously 25 points. A great game for Jordan Hawkins off the bench. Just wasn't enough. I like Matkovic as a center and as a rebounding big, but I think Yves Missi is kind of missed on this team, even though he isn't the greatest offensive player either. Like, Matkovic he's efficient. It's just he's not a good enough scoring big to take down a team like the Pistons. Now, obviously, they have Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Jordan Hawkins. They have solid guys coming off the bench to kind of help with the scoring. But there's that. You look at the Pistons, 22 points, 12 rebounds for Jalen Duren. That's great. 26 points for Ron Holland II. He shot 33% from three. Marcus Sasser. Shout out Houston, man. The Cougars are rolling in the tournament, and so is Marcus Sasser, a alumni of that school who has been having a generational past decade. Holy shit. 20 points for him, though. He shot 75% from three, 67% overall. That is exactly what they needed. And obviously no Cade Cunningham, so they get the dub here, and that's awesome. Moving on, I think there's two more games I want to cover. Let's talk about the Nuggets and the Rockets, and then we'll talk Thunder Clippers. These two games were good as I expected them to be. Jamal Murray scores 39 points to lift Denver to a 5-point win over Houston. Yeah, shout out to Jamal Murray. Amazing scoring, even MPJ kind of getting in the scoring column a little bit, and solid rebounding from him too. And the Denver Nuggets beat Houston by 5. They snapped the Rockets' 9-game win streak. It's obviously pretty pivotal there. You beat a really hot NBA team, and it actually helps them in the standings as well, because now they're only 1 game behind the Rockets, whereas before I think they were 2. So, yeah, DeAndre Jordan doing really good. He's still athletic. He's still a great dunker. He had some tough shots. Really good game, though. Obviously, Steven Adams being a big man and hitting some tough shots, too. This was a battle of the OG bigs, the early 2010s of bigs. Jalen Green, great offense from him. Obviously, Alperen Sengun is just an offensive hub, setting teammates up like Amin Thompson for dunks, but they couldn't get it done. Man, DeAndre Jordan, 11 points, 15 rebounds. He had a really good game, and obviously 39 points for Jamal Murray off of 67% three-point shooting. That is incredible. So, yeah, those two really helped out. You look at the Rockets, you get a 21-point game for Dylan Brooks, who shot 67%, 17 points, 10 assists, 14 rebounds for Alperen Sengun. The guy had a damn triple-double. 30 points for Jalen Green, 14 points, 12 rebounds for Steven Adams off the bench. He shot 60%. Not the greatest shooting splits for Jalen Green, but I think primarily the inconsistent play of Fred VanVleet kind of killed them here. He did not have the greatest game, and, Jabari Smith Jr. and Steven Adams kind of attempted to clean some stuff up off the bench, just wasn't quite able to do so. Fred VanVleet, just not a great performance, shooting 15% from the field, and I think 12% from three-point, so very ugly performance for Fred VanVleet. Hopefully he doesn't have too many more of those. Yeah. Hopefully they can close out the season on a good foot, on a good note, and have good seeding for the playoffs. Moving on to the Thunder and the Clippers. Thunder got themselves stuck in a close one here. They are on the verge of 60 wins. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores 26. The Thunder beat the Clippers by 2. This is their 6th straight win. The Thunder are looking really good. Again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, great scoring, even doing a little bit of playmaking, and Aaron Wiggins did a little bit of scoring as well, kind of trying to be his running mate there. The Oklahoma City Thunder, man, they are now, ever since the Cleveland Cavaliers kind of losing streak, they are now the best team in the NBA. So, yeah, they held on, they got the victory. Good stuff. SGA, as always, scoring at a very consistent level. There's hardly any games I've seen him score under 20 at all. Has there been a game? Like, I'm about to look this up right now for you guys. I don't think he's had a single game under 20 points this year. I don't think so. Like, I'm not even joking here. Like, look at this. Okay, he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt one of those games. Or no, that was the All-Star game. What the fuck? No, we're not looking at the damn All-Star game. I'm not even joking. I'm going to look through this. Shai has scored 20-plus points in every game of the season. Every single game. There is not a game. One game against the Spurs. 1 out of 71. That's incredible. That is incredible numbers. Yeah, he put up 26. Again, he didn't shoot the best, and sure, his free throws might have carried him a little bit. For 11. Sure, he is a foul merchant, but dude, 1 game under 20 the entire season. This guy's an MVP. I know it's not all about scoring, and we've learned that with guys like Russell Westbrook. We've learned that with guys like Nikola Jokic. We've even learned that with guys like Steve Nash years ago. But man, this is too impressive to pass up. And I mean, shout out to Isaiah Hartenstein as well. 14 points, 10 rebounds. He shot 50%. Really just a good team win here for the Thunder. You look at the Clippers, 25 points, 10 rebounds for Kawhi Leonard, who shot 50% overall, 15 points, 11 rebounds for Ivica Zubac. I guess that's really about it. Again, I don't like Chris Dunn being in the starting lineup. I cannot stress that enough. You have Amir Coffey, you have Ben Simmons, you have Derrick Jones Jr. on the bench that you could easily try out. I know people hate on Ben Simmons, but honestly, he played pretty damn good off the bench this game, and he played really efficient minutes. Why does Chris Dunn get more minutes than him on this team? Why does he get more minutes than Amir Coffey on this team? I don't really know, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I respect the hell out of Ty Lue as a coach. I think he's an amazing coach. But a very questionable decision from him there. I'm not going to lie. As we are going, well, first let's look at Monday, the preview for the games tomorrow. Really excited about that Timberwolves-Pacers game. That will be good. And we will actually be able to watch NBA basketball tomorrow because March Madness is taking a break for a couple of days. You have that game. I mean, Celtics-Kings could be a really good one in the late window as well. I guess that really is about it, though. I got to lock in. I got my fantasy playoffs. I'm going to have to check my lineup after this video. But moving on to the NCAA tournament, what we are here to talk about. Really good games today. We're going to start with the first game of the day, of the slate, UConn versus Florida. I'm not going to talk about every game. There were a couple of games that weren't as close, so I don't really care to talk about them. But let's talk about UConn, Florida. Florida ends UConn's bid for their 3rd straight national title with a 2-point win in the tournament. For 30 minutes, UConn showed the mettle and toughness that delivered back-to-back national championships for Dan Hurley, outplaying top-seeded Florida in the second round. But those last 10 minutes of the second half, boom. Elijah Martin putting them away with second chance points, grabbing rebounds, just out-gritting this damn team. Walter Clayton Jr. hitting insane 3 after 3 after 3. That guy is a damn star. He is going to the league next year. I think he is a senior. He will go to the league next year. Very quick points for Florida throughout the second half. They started to figure it out, and that's an amazing thing to see. Obviously, Alex Karaban was making it tough with his play. Hassan Diarra was making it tough with his play throughout the start. And UConn shot decently well from 3 at the start of the game, but it kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, man, shout out to Liam McNeely, though, for UConn. He kind of made a name for himself this game, 22 points. And obviously, you get Samson Johnson. He had 10 points, 10 rebounds. I'm kind of disappointed in how Hassan Diarra played. I mean, I know he's not the greatest scorer in the world, but he definitely could have done a little more in that aspect, Jalen Stewart, a really good bench player. Like, they kind of depended on him throughout the game to try to get some stuff done. But, yeah, man, not a great game for Hassan Diarra. Is that who I said? Yes. Gators, though, man, 23 points for Walter Clayton Jr., and that's really all they needed. He was their star player today. So, shout out to the Gators, man. Love Walter Clayton Jr. We're going to move on. We're going to skip a couple games ahead and get to talking about this New Mexico-Michigan State game because, man, oh, man, the 10 seed made it close. There's already one 10 seed going to the Sweet 16, and I was fearful that another one was heading that way. But Michigan State reaches their 16th Sweet 16 under Tom Izzo. What do you fucking know? Tom Izzo, John Calipari, great coaches reaching that legendary milestone. That's awesome. They win by 8 over New Mexico. Solid scoring for a guy like Jaden Akins. Huge three-pointer that put Michigan State ahead to stay. And yeah, man, shout out to Tom Izzo. He's an absolutely legendary college coach, and I love seeing him succeed and move on. That's awesome. Michigan State, really good hustle plays, leading to offense, tough shots. Jeremiah Fears Jr. had a nasty block for them. Cohen Carr, he's super athletic. You can use him around the rim. Jaden Akins had some alley-oops. Jace Richardson had some nice passes to set up some guys. That's another great story. Jason Richardson's son is in the March Madness tournament. That's fucking cool as hell. New Mexico, I don't think they played bad, but they didn't play great. I don't think. Not really a lot of stand-up performances, and I feel like a guy like Philip, I don't even know the Serbian dude that starts on the team, he could have played a little better, but it's not like they're super deep. They weren't supposed to make a run in the first place, considering they're a 10 seed, and I literally had Marquette beating them, and they fucking disappointed me, but they kind of showed that in this game. Michigan State, not super spectacular plays. I mean, you have Trey Holloman, you have Frankie Fiddler, you have Jaden Akins. They all played pretty good for the team. But not a great game for Michigan State by any means. They just came together as a team and they won. They made plays when it mattered. Shout out to Tom Izzo. We're Swamp Izzo. We're dancing. I have my computer over there. I'm actually uploading my Playboy Cardi video. Be on the lookout for that. As we get into Illinois, Kentucky, man, Illinois disappoints again. I know they weren't really supposed to win this game, but this was definitely a winnable 6-3 matchup. We'll talk about another 6-3. Well, I won't talk about that matchup because that game was terrible. Fuck Iowa State. They're terrible. But Kobe Bria leads the way as Kentucky beats Illinois by 9. This is their first Sweet 16 appearance since 2019. A school that is used to absolute NCAA greatness hasn't, up to this point, hadn't made a Sweet 16 in over half a decade. So that's kind of crazy. Kentucky is joining its former coach in the Sweet 16, so that'll be a cool little storyline to see. Amari Williams, electric sequences, playing really well on both sides of the ball. Kobe Brea, insane scoring. He played it phenomenal. Quick points. I mean, Kentucky was just up and at him this entire game. Yeah, Kobe Brea, three-pointer after three-pointer, shout out to Kylan Boswell. He played really good for Illinois, but, man, them Wildcats, they are a tough team to beat. But, yeah, man. Kylan Boswell, 23 points. He shot 40% from three. I was a little disappointed in Will Riley. He's supposed to kind of be their star player. He's one of the better players on the team. He didn't play the greatest. Now, obviously, they have Morris Johnson Jr. coming off the bench, and he played pretty decent, kind of in place of that. But not a great game for Will Riley. I was so hyped to see how he would play in this game, but didn't really come to full form. Yeah, man. Kobe Brea, 23 points, man. He got it done. Shout out to the Kentucky Wildcats. We're going to move on. We have two more games to talk about, Colorado State and Maryland. What a fucking electric game. This is easily the best game of the tournament so far. Thought we were about to go to overtime or something, but they ended up being like 1-point games between them and all that stuff. But Derek Queen, the guy is a fucking beast. I remember watching him out of high school. I think he went to IMG. God, he's so good. Buzzer beating fadeaway gives Maryland a 1-point win over Colorado State. He demanded the ball. The coach was talking in the post-game press conference. He was like, Derek Queen told him to give him the motherfucking ball. Excuse my French. Give him the fucking ball. And they did that. Huge buzzer beater. Maryland is going to the Sweet 16, and that run continues for a team I'm very hopeful for in the tournament. That's one of my big, not underdogs, but big lower than 1 and 2 seed that I had going far in the tournament, and I'm really happy that they pulled that one out. Yeah, Derek Queen, man, such good play on both sides of the basketball. Nick Clifford is obviously tough. He's one of the better Colorado State players in their school's history. Jalen Lake, blocking shots. They had a really good team this year. Bowen Bourne, tough shots. It's like over very lengthy players on this Maryland Terrapins team. But, yeah, man, Colorado State, you get 21 points for Nick Clifford. Puts a good end onto a really good season. And obviously, Rashawn Mbemba, he didn't play the greatest. I don't know. They had a lot of guys off the bench. I mean, Nikola DeJapa. They had, Bowen Bourne was awesome. Loved watching him play. Kashawn Williams played pretty decent. Ethan Morton. They had some guys coming off the bench to kind of come in, but I don't know what happened to Rashawn Mbemba. I guess he had foul trouble, and that kind of killed them a little bit because he's a core piece in that starting lineup. You look at the Terrapins, though. Shout out to Julian Reese, 15 points, 11 rebounds. He had a really good game. He really powered this team forward. And, again, Derek Queen hit that buzzer beater. So that is all great stuff. Sorry about the noise outside. I have to creak my windows because it's hot as fuck. But let's get into Oregon versus Arizona, the game that just transpired. Man, I love seeing Caleb Love's journey in the tourney continue. He leads Arizona past Oregon by 4 to set up a showdown with Duke. That is going to be incredible. That is must-see TV. I don't know when they're going to have the games. I will probably look at the schedule for Thursday after this because I'm not really sure actually when each game's going to transpire. I'll probably be in school during some of those games. Probably going to turn it on my fucking laptop if I'm being honest. But, yeah, man, looking at the Ducks, they played okay. I mean, Nate Biddle, he had 16 points, 11 rebounds. He shot 50% from 3. Obviously, Jackson Shellstad is a great player. He put up 25 points. He shot 50% from 3 as well. I guess Brandon Angel could have played a little better, but it's not like he played terrible. And they have Kwame Evans Jr. off the bench. He's a great rebounder, solid scorer for them that played a lot of minutes. So they kind of made the right coaching adjustments. It was just Arizona's too good. And you get a really good game from Toby Awaka, 12 points, 14 rebounds, shooting 75%, 29 points for Caleb Love. That is incredible. Again, I love that he is continuing on in this tournament because he has been a longtime favorite in college basketball. He has been around for 4 or 5 years now, and it's great to see him continue to trudge along. Well, actually, I think the Sweet 16 games are... That's fucking strange. The Sweet 16 games are starting really late. BYU versus Bama. I think Bama's going to take that. Just kind of previewing some stuff. Maryland, Florida. I actually really hope Maryland beats Florida because that was my big upset game. I don't know what the odds are on that. Arizona, Duke is going to be incredible. And I think Arkansas, Texas Tech. I honestly think Calipari has a chance to make the Elite Eight. So when we get there, we will talk about any of those games if they are good. And, throughout the week, we will talk about basketball as well. But I'm going to wrap this up here. Gotta post my Cardi video. Who the fuck is outside? Gotta post my Cardi video. I'm gonna start watching Squid Game. I should honestly be able to get the episode done tonight. I need to get a shower though. I feel fucking disgusting. I'll probably do that at some point, but leave a like, comment, subscribe. Jeezy TV, we do everything basketball. I don't really do high school basketball, so if you're hoping for that, that sucks. But we do NBA every single night of the regular season, and obviously we have been covering the March Madness tournament all season long. And honestly, if I become a big enough college basketball fan after this year's March Madness, we might start talking about some of the top 25 matchups coming up next year. Some of those big games. So if you'd like